This video is part of a series. Complete the previous videos in this playlist before you start this video. The complete playlist information, the material and the code file information is given in the video description below.
Get started with one more case study. In this case study, I will try to cover different sets of nodes that will give you some more idea on NI10. In this case study, we will try to see the lead generation from LinkedIn. We will try to use web scraping, web searching using Google, and then try to get or extract certain amount of information that we are looking for based on our search string. So the goal of this agent, we want to build an automation that takes the chat message as an input. The user will send a message that, okay, I want to extract maybe HR managers from Bangalore, or I want to extract all the CEOs from New York. I want to extract all the CMOs from a particular location like San Francisco. Then we would like to use a Google search API to scrape the LinkedIn profiles and results, extract the details like name, title, profile link, and the profile snippet. We can extract the email also, but I am staying away from it. We want to extract this information and we want to get the profile link as well so that we can click on that link and see, and stores this information in a neatly formatted Google Sheet. So we want to have a proper table. In that you have these columns like name, title, profile link, and the snippet, what exactly they are all about, the leads that we have got. And then handles the pagination, multiple results also we want to get it. This we will get it later on. This lets you to auto generate the leads without paying premiums to APIs. Actually, we have to pay the premium, but somehow there is a roundabout way. Somehow we can get nearly up to 100 leads per day. So if we let it run from certain number of accounts, maybe we can get, maybe within 1 week or within a month, we can get thousands of leads. So how do we do this lead generation from LinkedIn? This is the problem that we will try to solve. While we are solving it, we will get introduced to new sets of NI10 nodes, which will give us a different perspective altogether. And I would like to also show you that the same workflow or the same AI agent can be built in different ways. So I'll first show you method one in this. Probably this is a complex method, which is a solid, robust. I will also show you an easy method, method two, with different sets of nodes. So we will first see method one of generating the leads and storing them inside a Google Sheet. Even before getting into our NI10 workflow, I would like to show you the whole plan so that all of us are on the same page. Then I will go back to NI10 workflow. So first we will start with a form. In this form, the user will fill the information that maybe I'm looking for HR managers in Bangalore or CEO in Pune. So this is the form that will appear to the user. He will search the designation that he wants to search on LinkedIn. He will submit this form, and this form will be sent to our Google search engine. So there are some API keys and then a search engine, programmable search engine that we have to create, and the search string that we have to set. Once we set all these API keys, once we send the query to Google, it will give us the result. Google search engine will give the result. We have to format those results. So we will use this HTTP request. So from the Google, we get the results by using this HTTP request. So once you get all these leads, we have to use a new node called code node that is going to format. So you have to copy paste this code that will eventually format and give us the well formatted output. In that well formatted output, you have the name, title, profile link, and the snippet. After that, we are going to wait for some time to avoid our Google Sheets, to avoid the rate limits. In between every result, we may have to wait for a couple of seconds. And then finally, we will add the final node, which is going to append all the information that Google has searched. So one by one, we will go to Google Sheets and append all that information inside a row. We will fill the name, title, profile link, and the snippet. So the whole lead generation from LinkedIn, there are 6 nodes: form submission, format the fields, and then get the Google results. Again, format them by using code, and then wait in between. Finally, add the information inside the Google Sheet. So this will be the input, founder and co-founder in Pune. The output looks like this. I want to tell you something here. You should not overuse this. Google doesn't encourage people to just go ahead, scrape the web. In fact, not only Google, none of the website, even LinkedIn doesn't encourage somebody to just scrape the websites like that. This is just for the educational purpose. What is the power of NI10? That is why I'm showing it. You have to use paid APIs to extract the information. Just scraping like this is not a good idea. But what NI10 can do, that is what I'm trying to show here. So this is the method one that I'm talking about. Now there is one more method method too. In fact, if you repeat it multiple times, if you run it in a loop, you can get multiple results as well, but I do not suggest this. Now you can use another API called SERP API, Search Engine Results Page, SERP API. Google searching can be done by using SERP API also. Earlier, we have used Google Cloud Console and the programmable search engine. That is a different method. SERP API is slightly different. So we can use SERP API also, and we have to change the code a little bit. Still, we get the similar kind of results. All the other nodes remain the same, but we use SERP API, and this is how it will look like. So let us do both the methods. Let's get started with one method. We will go to our workflow and get started with it. All right, let's get started with a new workflow. Let us give this workflow a name, lead gen LinkedIn version 1. And then let me add the tag. The tag is Agentic AI course. You can give any tag. So we will start with our first node. That is nothing but the form. Somebody submits a form, which is known as NA10 form. Once somebody submits a form, then the first one we have to select. So let's go here, and then we will type form and then click on this trigger on new NA10 form event. So click on that. And then once somebody submits a form, that is when our whole workflow will start. You can keep authentication as none. The title of the form is enter the details here. Form description is, what is the description? To collect the search string. What is the search that the user want to do to collect the search string? That's what we want to do. Now we have to add the form element. Form element, this is just the information about the form. What is the name of the form? And then what is the description? But what is the most important one? We want to collect something called search string. This is the search string, or maybe whatever search designation. People should be searching the designation on LinkedIn, then we will get it. Or maybe simply we'll say search string. Now you can put a placeholder. Let's say for the user, instead of showing a blank box that you enter the search here, in that blank box, you will say maybe founder, or maybe let's say we will say HR manager Bangalore. So in the form, HR manager Bangalore will appear. So what I'm trying to say, and this is a required field. So if you execute this tab, a form will appear like this. Search string. So if you see here, earlier we have entered something called search string. Search string, and then what is it? A placeholder in light font, you will see HR manager. So already we are trying to give a hint to the user. You have to enter something like this. So once I close this, once I go back here, once again, I'll try to explain what's happening here. The name of the form, stop listening. The name of the form is just form title is enter details here, or you can give the form title as lead gen form, lead generation form. This is to collect the search string, and you enter the search string. Now this is the important one, the field where you are going to take the information forward, search string. This is just a placeholder. So once you execute it, the form will appear like this, and the user will enter information like, I want to get the information of all the CMOs in let's say Pune or New York or something like that. Once this form is submitted, then this information will go. Once I submit it here, you can see the search string is CMO in Pune, submitted at this time, and then the form mode is a test. We will go back, and then we will add the next node. Once the form is submitted, we want to take this form, and we would like to create a particular node where all the fields are set together. We want to have the number of pages, how many pages we want to extract from Google Search API. Now to Google Search API, we have to give the API key. We have to give the search engine index. We have to give the search engine query. So all of them, I will prepare them beforehand. So I will create a new node called set fields node, set edit fields or set node. Manual mapping. The first field that I'm going to add is current starting index. So from which point you have to do the Google searching. Now there is indexing that is done in Google. You can get the first page, second page, third page, etc. Especially if you are getting multiple pages, then this index matters. But from in our case, we are going to search from the first index, but this kind of field will help later on. So current start index. where are you starting your searching from in your Google results? I'll start from one, from the first point onwards, from the first result onward, I'm going to take them. But if you are running them in a loop, in the second iteration, you may want to take it from the 20th result onwards. In the third iteration, you may want to take it from the 30th result onwards, like that. But here, the current starting index, which is a number, you have to select a number, it is 1. So that is where you are starting first. And then the next input that you are giving is max pages. Max pages, I want to extract only 10 pages out of the Google search. Each page again will have 10 results. So almost like 100 results we are getting, 10 pages. Each page will have 10 results. And then the next one is Google API key. Google API key. This we need to extract. You have to get your key and you have to paste it here. I'll show you how to get that credentials. This credentials is becoming a very big headache in NA10. Later on, to resolve this issue of API handling credentials, there's a new concept called MCP that has been introduced, which has made this whole process much more organized. But as of now, we will go ahead, give the API credentials here individually. And then this is the Google API key. There is one more key called CX, Google CX. Now we are creating our own search engine, our own customized programmed search engine. This Google API key, you can leave it as string. The max pages, this has to be a number. So current index is 1, uh, your number, and then max pages number 10. And then Google API key, it will be a string. We will keep it here. Google search. So there are two keys. One is API key given for a user. The other one is search engine. Under one API key, you can create multiple search engines. One search engine for searching in LinkedIn, another search engine for searching Google Maps, another search engine for searching only certain country websites. Like that, you can program multiple search engines for yourself. So Google CX is the almost like search engine ID or search engine API key that you have to give it here. That will also be your own key, your CX value that you are going to get. I'll show you how this can be extracted. So these are the values that we will keep. Another one, which is query. What is a search query string? In the query, you can already see user has searched for CMO in Pune. So I will say this is the query string, but we have to limit everything to LinkedIn because we want to do the lead generation from LinkedIn only. So in Google, if you add site and then site name, site name, which is linkedin.com and then /in, what Google search engine will do is it will limit all the results to this particular site only. The site name is linkedin.com. So at the end, you have to give the search string. That's all right. That field you will give. Anyway, you will get it as CMO Pune. But beside that, you will give site linkedin.com /in. That is the extra that you need to add. If you execute this step, so you can see the result of it, your search key, your CXvalue, and CMO. So now we are going to keep your search key, API key, and then your CXvalue. Let's get Google API key. For that, we have to go to Google Cloud Console. We have done this earlier for a different task. Inside Google Cloud Console, we have created an API key when we were doing the exercise of Google Drive, when we are uploading a file to Google Drive. So we have included Google Drive. That is where we have interacted with Google Cloud Console. Now we want to do it for search engine. So let us see Google search. This is Google Cloud Console. Google Cloud Console. Click on Google Cloud Console. You can use yesterday's project itself, or first let me go to the account that I am generally using for this course. Now I have created an account yesterday for RAG N8N agent. That was when we were storing our RAG data, PDF data inside the Google Drive. You can use this. There is nothing wrong. The project name is this, or you can create a new project also. If you already have a project, you can use it, or you can create a new project. Let me use the same project. It's not a very big deal. So what we need to do is we need to go here and search for custom search API. Custom search API. You see this? When you type custom, then there is one custom search API, or you can type it completely also. So you type custom search API, then you enable this to the project. Yesterday we have enabled Google Drive for it. Now we will also enable custom search API here. So I'm enabling the custom search API. It will take a couple of seconds of time. Once you enable the custom search API, you are one step closer. Then you have credentials option. After enabling custom search API, you will get the credentials here. and then our previous ones are anyway displayed. Inside the credentials, you create new credentials, API key. Once you click on that API key, it will create the API key. You don't copy my key. I'm going to delete this anyway immediately. So this is the API key. You copy API key, you come here and then put it in your API key. Since you can get the API key, I would recommend you to use it there. There's no point in just copy pasting it from here. Definitely, it will throw an error if you are using it. And then the next one. So the first one is pretty simple. So you will just add custom search, and then after adding custom search, you will have you click on credentials, create credentials, API key, you will get it. Now we will go to step 2, which is CXvalue. You have to create a separate search engine, and CXvalue is connected to that separate search engine that is known as programmable search engine, Google. Programmable search engine, Google. What is a programmable search engine? You are creating your own search engine. You say get started. You select your account. My account that I generally use is this one. All search, you don't have any search engines. Create your first search engine. Yes, I will create my first search engine. Name your first search engine. Maybe I will say lead gen, lead gen, link, LinkedIn. For a specific site or page or entire web. Let it search the entire web rather than searching in a specific site. We don't want to lose out any information. Search the entire web. Do you want to search images and save search on? I will just leave it as it is. I'm not a robot. Once you click on that, you're going to get your CXvalue. Once you say create, your programmable search engine will be created, and this is your programmable search engine. In that search engine, somewhere CXvalue is given here. Once again, I'm telling you, if you copy my CXvalue, it's not going to help. You have to take these steps. These are not too many steps. It's just you just say programmable search engine, create one, and then you have this CXvalue. Just name it. You have the CXvalue, and then you come here and you paste your CXvalue. Execute this step. These two steps may seem simple, but sometimes if you're not following the steps correctly, then you may lose out on some of the point. You may lose out on some of these details. Then you may not get these keys accurately. Just make sure that you are watching this video carefully. Maybe replay it 2-3 times to get these two values accurately. Once you get these two values, we are done with the second node, which is like we have kept everything ready with us. I have the current starting index. I have the maximum number of pages that I want to extract. I have the Google API key. I have the Google CXvalue. I have the query also ready. Now it's time for us to do the HTTP request to the Google. We will use the Google search engine string, and then we will try to send the HTTP request. Let's go to the next, probably the most important node, which is HTTP request. And it is get method. Get method means all the information will be in the URL itself. Whenever we are making a request to Google search engine, it will send the information back in the URL itself. We will use get method. And then what is the URL that you have to give? You have to give this very specific URL, Google apis.com custom search version 1. Google apis.com custom search version 1. Authentication can be none. Send query parameters. Yes, you have to send query parameters. You have to send the key value. Your key is nothing but Google API key. You have to drag and drop it here. So this is the Google API key. That means when HTTP is making a request to Google to send the results, you cannot just send the request just like that. You have to send the URL. You have to send the API key. You have to send your custom engine. So you have to add this as well. The second one is after key. You have to add the CXvalue. Then Google will identify your search engine as well as your API key and see your API rate limits, etc. And then obviously you have to send the query. What is your query? Q stands for query. You have to give exactly like this. What is your query that you want to send in Google? I want to search for all the CMO in Pune. Site is linkedin.com. So this is a query that will be sent to Google. And then this is the key value. This is the CXvalue. There is one more extra that you can add, which is not useful right now, but later on this may be useful. You will say the start index. Currently, you can say current start index is 1. If at all you are adding a loop later on, you can say that either current start index or maybe whenever you complete the first loop, whatever is the start index after that, this can be updated. But as of now, we are starting from page 1, result 1. We are getting all those results. So this is optional for now. We are not going to add any loop. You can ignore this also, but you just let it be here. Later on, if there is an improvement that you want to do in this workflow, then this may be helpful. Once I execute this step, now Google search has worked just like that. You can see the result here. So it has extracted the information on CMO in Pune. It has given me the information, somebody who is Darshan Kumbar, helping founders, CMOs. He's not a proper CMO. He's helping founders and CMOs. So whatever is a search, Google has given us all these results. Obviously, Google search is very, very wide search. Definitely, it will give hell lot of information. We have to add another node that will format this information and give us in the particular required format that we are looking for. So this is the HTTP request page, which is working perfectly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a code node. This code node will help me to format.
Continue with the next video in the playlist. We are covering everything step by step. If you have any questions or the comments, please post them in the comments window below.